Hey friends, happy Thursday. Welcome to another episode of Thrifty Thursday. As you can see, I have all kinds of goodies here. Now, we are going to pray that my setup works for this. I have you guys propped on an Amazon box so that I can use this box as a table surface. I am praying soon this does not have to be the setup where I can just have everything all on one surface. But that's okay, we're going to roll with it for now. So today we're going to be making, I initially was saying bookmarks. And then my daughter saw this and she's like, it's a book rug. Which it kind of technically is. So this is just a book that I had handy at my desk that I use. And as you see, this is a little bit thicker than I wanted it to be. Let's take this book out of the equation for now. So this is used with just a Premier yarn. I think the colorway was like neon lights or something like that. This was just some leftovers I had from a project. And it is a medium 4, so it is thicker. And then I did a row of 11, so it was I did a row of 10 plus 1 because I wanted 10 stitches going across on this. And again, like I said on a previous video, I was just kind of playing with this idea. I'm sure everybody has seen out there the mug rugs. And that's where I'm going with this. Maybe you don't want to make a bookmark. Maybe you want to make a mug rug or a plate rug big enough to put your dinner plate on. Or maybe you just want to do something to decorate the top of like your bookshelf or your dresser. You can put fringe on it, but you don't have to. I just did it just because fringe is fun, right? And I was using scrap yarn, so these are half double crochets, and it is kind of like, you can see it's kind of thicker than I would have wanted it to be. So I think today in this tutorial we're going to go ahead and we're going to use, and this is where I wanted to go with this, if you're going to make a mug rug or a plate rug or just something for the top of your bookshelf or something like that, you're probably going to want to use a cotton yarn, not an acrylic. If you're making a bookmark, you can use either. But for any other purpose, like I said, if you're going to be putting a dinner plate on it or a mug or a cup or anything like that, that would have heat or would sweat like from ice melting or something, I would strongly recommend using a cotton or like the cotton blend, the kitchen cottons, like you can buy at Premier, or Joanne sells them, Michaels sells them, Hobby Lobby sells them in the I Love This Cotton. But for today's purposes for this video, we are going to use Cotton Fair from Premier. And this is 52% cotton and 48% acrylic. And it is a light too. So this has enough cotton in it that I would feel comfortable putting a hot mug or something like that on. Okay. So this was actually something I got in a mystery box from Cinnamon Stitches when she was selling her mystery boxes. I think it was earlier this year. And I've been chomping at the bits to use this because it's my favorite color. And this one recommends I cannot read that, hold on. It recommends a 4.5mm crochet hook. Okay. Now here I have a 4.5mm. This is just a Hobby Lobby crochet hook. And then here, if you want to go smaller, I have a 3.5mm. This will give you tighter stitches. This was just a crochet hook from an Amazon set that I bought. a couple of years ago, a year ago, I don't know. So we're going to go ahead and get started on this. And again, if my tutorial instruction, however you want to look at this, is a little funky, please bear with me. I am still so new at this, and looking through my camera and looking at my project at the same time is a little bit tricky for me. So I am using my 3.5mm focus. Well, you get it, 3.5mm crochet hook, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 10 plus 1. And you want to do, the way I'm doing this is any even number plus 1 at the end. So there's 1, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This yarn's a little bit splitty. 7, 8, 9, 10, plus 1. Okay, so there's my chain. And then all you're going to do on this, and I'm not going to do this full project because you saw what it's going to look like. You can make this as wide or as narrow as you want. So say you don't want 10 stitches across, you only want 6. Sorry, I was all stuck in the yarn. You can do 6 plus 1. So you would chain 7. You only want 4, then chain 5. But if you want to go bigger and make something for like a dinner plate or a mug rug or something, then I would chain 20 plus 1. That'll give you a nice big finish. So then what we're going to do where that chain 1 is going to come in is, because we're going to skip the first chain, which we're going to skip this one here and go into the second chain from the hook. The one on your hook does not count. And I'm going to just single crochet this time. I'm curious to see how a single crochet is going to work. And I don't know if this smaller hook is going to work because this yarn is so splitty. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this yarn is splitting. But that's to be expected when using a smaller hook like that. So there's one single crochet. There's 2. You can make this as wide or as short as you want it. I don't like this. I don't think I like this yarn. Okay, I'm going to rip this out. I'm going to try going with the recommended hook because I don't like using the smaller one. Bear with me. Okay. I went off camera just so I could get that done. So this is using the 4.5mm crochet hook. Now let's see if we have better luck. This is really a stringy yarn. I've never worked with this before, but it's pink. It's my favorite color. I'm going to make it work. Okay, so there's one single crochet. Like I said, I skipped the first chain from the hook. There's 2. There's 3. And as you can see, I am struggling with this yarn because it is splitting. I'm not so sure I would use this cotton for this. Maybe other people have better luck than I do. I would probably go to the other Premier yarn that I really like. That's a 3-weight. This one's a 2-weight. I cannot remember the name of it right off the top of my head. See, it just keeps splitting, and it could be my crochet hooks too. I used the crochet hooks I had on hand. I'm sorry, this is not working out the way I wanted it to. Way more struggle than I wanted this to be, friends. Bear with me, I'm sorry. And don't miss this last stitch either. It can be sometimes hard to miss. That's down here by your slip knot. Alright. So there's my first chain of single crochets. I am going to chain 1, turn my work, and we're going to go right into this first stitch at the base of that turning chain. Just 1, and then go in this. For all of us seasoned crocheters, we kind of know where our stitches are, but if you're unsure where to put your next chain in, you can roll this up and you will see the V's along the top here. That's where you're going in. It's also helpful because if you look right here, you can see a little hole, but it doesn't help. I'm working with like a splitty yarn and it's not wanting to work for me. There we go. Just 1. All right. Alright, you can see how this is coming out. I'm not happy with this yarn. I thought I would like this yarn. And maybe I just need to play around with some other crochet hooks that I have. But you get the idea. So you're just going to go back, you're just going to make rows until you get it as long as you want, as wide as you want. Like I said, I recommend doing it in even rows plus 1 at the end. To put, I'm not going to work with this any further just because it is more frustration than I want it to be right now. If you want to put fringe on the bottom or the top, all you got to do is just go through here, through the bottom loops, like so. And then you're just going to pull up. You're going to lay your fringe over. Of course, cut your yarn off the skein. I'm not cutting it off the skein because this is just going to go into a donate pile when I'm done here. You're going to just pull it up. And then when you pull it up, you'll take your fringe. I'm probably going to make a big knot doing this, but I don't want to cut anything off of this right now. You're going to take it and then pull your fringe through, and then that will give you this. You can see where I pulled the fringe through. Oops, sorry, I just moved you guys. You can see where I pulled the fringe and tightened it on the bottom here. There's also wonderful tutorials on YouTube for doing fringe. I don't do fringe on everything because it's not my favorite thing to do in the world. But yeah. So yeah, this is all I have for you today. Excuse me. It's just kind of a stash buster project. Excuse me. Something has got me tore up out here in the living room. So yeah, this is just a good stash buster project to use up. Stash buster project. That's a tongue twister. Say that one 5 times fast. To use up yarn that's in your stash or whatever. And again, I will leave the preference up to you. Whatever. I just knotted this yarn. Well, we'll play with that later. I'll leave it up to you what kind of yarn you want to use. There's all different kinds of fibers and stuff, but this is just what I chose to do as a fun little bookmark here. So With that, friends, I'm going to let you go. I will be back tomorrow with a bonus video. We're going to go shopping at Dollar Tree tomorrow. So that video will be up sometime tomorrow, hopefully before noon, West Coast time, which would be 3 o'clock Eastern and 2 o'clock Central, maybe? I don't know. Anyways, that's when I'm hoping to have it up by. But, yep, tomorrow we are going to go shopping at Dollar Tree, and we're going to see what kind of goodies we found. So, that being said, friends, know I love you. God loves you. Be kind to one another. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.